Hi all. In this session, let's talk about how VMware Tanzu helps in securing your Kubernetes application supply chain. We'll be stressing more upon Tanzu Application Platform and VMware Application Catalog, how these two components come together in securing your end-to-end software supply chain. Tanzu Application Platform helps in improving the developer productivity, where developers can quickly test and iterate the code in their local IDE tools through VMware provided Tanzu plugins. And developers can also get access to the predefined templates, which we call it as an accelerators, where developers can use the accelerators and quickly start with the developer journey instead of starting from the scratch. It is available for many programming languages. And developers can also get access to the developer portal, where developers get the holistic view of the complete software supply chain. And that really helps developers in quickly identifying the vulnerabilities in the early stages of the development stage itself. That can be the source code scanning, the image scanning, and so on. We allow organizations to follow these shift left practices right through the developer portal. And developer portal also provides a lot of features that including API docs, technical documentation, security analysis, accelerators, catalogs, and so on. Tanzu application platform is primarily categorized into two different layers, inner loop and outer loop, where inner loop is mainly for the developers, where they can quickly test and iterate the code, debug the code, go to the developer portal and identify the vulnerabilities in the early stages to supply chain, right? This is what I, as mentioned. And outer loop is mainly intended for personas like operators, DevOps, DevSecOps, and so on, where operators, they just point the workload to the source code committed by the developers. And the source code goes through multiple stages in the supply chain. And the supply chain can be customized as well, where you can swap the existing out-of-the-box tools with your tools and services as well. And that is where the source code, source code scanning happens, and which is where the testing happens, and which is where the image build happens automatically, and the image scanning happens, and image signing can be included as part of supply chain. So Tanzu application platform also gives developers and operators and DevSecOps team to have the holistic view of the total vulnerabilities detected as part of the complete supply chain or the applications. Tanzu application platform does a pretty good job in identifying the vulnerabilities. It can be from the source code or it can be from the image, right? But what if your developers are trying to deploy an external resources like a PostgreSDB or a MariaDB or any sort like RabbitMQ, whatever it is, right? So in that case, we often see like developers and operators trying to use the images from the public registry, like a Docker Hub or whatever it is, right? So you never know what sort of code these applications has in the backend, right? Docker pull MySQL, Docker pull Postgres might be easy, but you never know what sort of bad code it is carrying with them. So once developers start integrating the resources, the backend resources with the application that is deployed to Tanzu application platform, it is nothing but you are putting your application at risk because you never know what sort of bad code that external resources deployed to public registries contains, right? So in that case, there is a security risk, right? Also, I can tell you one example. In case if a developer submits a bad code, right? The bad code can be identified in your source code scanning stage. It can be fixed. But what if the source code has any dependencies, right, which has to be pulled from public repositories, right? So it is a loop again, right? It is very difficult to keep a track of all the dependencies that is pulled from. So it is very important to have the hardened images, in the image building process, right? So we'll see like how VMware Application Catalog here helps in integrating with the Tanzu application platform and helps in the end-to-end secure software supply chain, right? VMware Application Catalog is the SaaS service from VMware that allows you to download the artifacts that is available as part of the complete bundle, right? So it has got almost 200 plus images, starting from the tools required for the developers, to DevOps teams, to DevSecOps teams, to administrators, and so on, right? It has got Node.js, OpenJDKs, Jenkins, Harbor, RabbitMQs, Postgres databases, databases in general, right? So it also has images on both Helm charts available as well, where you can just go there, map your registries, and start accessing all the bundles, all the artifacts available out there. So Tanzu Application Platform and VMware Application Catalog both together can be integrated in a very easy way. By default, Tanzu Application Platform comes with Bitnami Services package, where you can actually have the Bitnami services catalog to be replaced with VMware application catalog as well, which I'll be showing in the demos in a few minutes. All what we should do is like developers, they just deploy the source code and commit it to some source code, some commit to some Git repository. And DevSecOps team or DevOps teams, they can point the source code to the supply chain. And the source code goes through multiple stages, right? Tests, scans, builds, signs, and so on. In case if developer wants to use or operators wants to use any sort of external resource like a Postgres database, all they have to do is like just claim the resource from VMware application catalog. And within few seconds, you can see the resource request a resource getting created in the backend and can be used by the operators to integrate with the application, right? Let's just quickly jump to the demo and we'll see how things works in the demo. For this demo purpose, I've already deployed a Acme Fitness application, which is an e-commerce based application. It includes 6 different services, right? As I'm showing here, Acme Card, Catalog, Identity, Order, Payment, Shipping, and so on, right? So all these services are deployed using different programming languages, right? And it also has a dependency on some external resources like a Redis databases and so on. So I've already got a Redis appliance deployed. There you go. If you see here, I got an Redis appliance deployed. Let's see like where the image is being pulled from for this specific. All right, if we just go to the image section, there you go. It is trying to pull the image from the public registry, that is open source Bitnami Redis image, right? So it is a security risk, right? Though I deployed the applications through Tanzu Application Platform, right? If you just take an application called Acme Catalog, I ensure like the source code doesn't have any critical vulnerabilities, though they are critical vulnerabilities, but I just bypassed it, assuming like they are not that critical, right? And I was able to find out all the vulnerabilities here for this during the source code scanning. And after the image is built, I integrated the Carbon Black tool here with Gripe, and I was able to get the complete vulnerabilities detected as part of this as well. Though my end-to-end software supply chain is secure for all the applications or for all the services deployed, but somehow I had to use a public public resource from the public registry, right? Image from public registry, for example, the Redis from Bitnami Redis. So what I do is I already got the application catalog here, where I have requested for the Redis from your application catalog and pushed into my registry. So there you go. This is the registry I've already pushed into my, there you go. So this is the registry I'm using from ACR. So I'll be using the same registry here for the Redis, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace here the image section for the Redis resource, right? There you go. I'll be replacing this Bitnami Redis with the image that I pulled from your application catalog. So it will be my ACR repository followed by the path. Let's commit the changes. And I'll be deleting the existing resource. Delete it. And if we just quickly deploy the Redis application, now the image should be pulled from the latest image that I just updated. It is running. So let me just quickly do a describe. Just go back to the bench section. You can see the images from my registry that is pushed through VMware Application Catalog. So now my end-to-end software supply chain is secure because I don't have any components that is currently using the public registries, right? So yeah. So let me just come with other use case, right? Now I was able to replace the image, Redis image, right? It is more of a manual process what we followed now, right? And what if I wanted an application that requires integration with an external resource like a Postgres database, right? So for that purpose, I'll be quickly changing my context to a different cluster. Well, before moving further, let me just quickly walk you through the tab values file that I use for the Tanzu Application Platform plus VMware Application Catalog, where if you see in the tab values file, I've included Bitnami services. In the Bitnami services, I pointed it to the VMware Manager registry, and this is the one. If we just take a look at the VMware Application Catalog here, registries, under VMware Manager registry, details, US East 1 Docker PKG tab, US East 1 Docker PKG tab, right? So whenever I try to claim a resource, the images will be pulled from this registry. I specifically mentioned for a PostgreSQL resource for Helm chart, I wanted only the specific version to be pulled from the VMware Application Catalog. So whenever I try to claim a Postgres database from Tanzu Application Platform, it only picks this version. And in case if you wanted to use any other version, probably I can just replace it here. I can just change the values here to the version what I wanted to. And automatically when I do the next claim, the new version gets applied there, right? So this is the way you can do it. So it is not just for PostgreSQL. You can just have it for MySQLs or RabbitMQs, Kafkas, and so on. Any resource it can be, right? So you can just define the version. You can just define the repo where the image is being pushed from the VMware Application Catalog, right? It can be, it should be into your managed resource that you're configured as part of VMware Application Catalog, right? And if I just go back to the terminal here, let me show you the existing service class list. All right, good. So I've got these service classes by default available at the moment, right? Where you can see like there are 5 services that is currently pulled through Bitnami services, where one is through VMware Application Catalog. So even I can make everything to be pulled from VMware Application Catalog itself, right? But for now, I just used PostgreSQL for this setup. And if we quickly do a claim, right? Instead of pulling the images from VMware Application Catalog manually, do a Docker pull the image here, creating a deployment for instead of doing all this stuff. VMware Application Catalog with Tanzu Application Platform provides you some ease of automation where you can directly deploy the resources through the VMware application by pulling the images directly from the VMware Application Catalog, as I mentioned earlier. Right, let me just quickly do a claim. So here, I'm just creating a resource using this class. This class is nothing but the class that I mentioned here. Right now, a Postgres database resource gets deployed in this specific cluster. Let me just quickly show you what it's all about. Now it is deployed successfully, right? It used the class reference PostgreSQL VAC and the claim resource in the default namespace, right? Now, let me show you the resource details as well. There you go. It has pulled the image from the specific registry with a version in the specific namespace. Now let's check the part in the namespace. You should be seeing the Postgres database. Sorry for the typo. There you go. It is running, right? Now let's check the pod image. Yes, it pulled the image from US East from Docker PKG tab. So the image, Tanzu Application Platform was able to create the deployment by pulling the image directly from VMware Application Catalog. Easy, right? So now the image is secure. Now, whenever I want to upgrade to the next version, all what I do is just update the version in the tab values file in some Git repository. Automatically, from the very next moment when I start claiming it, I get the latest version of that specific resource, right? Now, let me just show you how easy it is for someone to, right? So I'm just trying to create a workload. A workload name is demo app, demo spring tab back db, point into this specific Git repository and the specific branch. In the end, if you see, I'm pointing this application to use this specific reference number. This reference number is using this claim. This is a claim that I just used to create a resource, right? So Let me just quickly run that, and it should probably take some time. Right? Let me go back to my developer portal, where before that, you can see the services here, right? The application that is currently being deployed by default uses these services, right? Service claim. If we just go back to the developer portal, refresh. All right, there you go. The application is getting deployed. And the application goes through various stages. It includes source testing, source code scanning, image building, image scanning, right? In case if I need to include image signing, even that will be part of this, but in this environment, I'm not using it. At config, the service bindings is the same service claims that we just did. In the end, it gets deployed into the Kubernetes cluster, right? So, and in the end, you can also see you can also see the security analysis or the complete vulnerabilities of all the applications in a holistic view in the developer portal, right? So on the whole, I just wanted to let you know that Tanzu Application Platform or VMware Application Catalog together help you in securing the end-to-end secure software supply chain. Thank you very much.